I can't tell you the amount of times I go to business events where there are business startups. Business startups, and I listen to the conversations, and the business people, they're busy trying to sell things to the other people. They're looking at them and they're busy saying, you get in business, buy from me because I've got X, Y, and Z. And I'm thinking, why don't you just stop for a minute and listen to what they've got? You think about what you've got and see how you can collaborate. Because there's a saying in business that everybody wants a piece of the pie. Is that right? You want a piece. Does anybody want a piece of the pie? Does anybody want a big piece of the pie? Are you sure? You want a big piece of the pie. That's the problem. That's the problem. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. They're in there and they're standing there thinking, I want a bigger piece of the pie than him, her, and whoever else. Maybe what you should do is get together and build a bakery. And then you can have lots of pies. Does that make sense? One thing I didn't do today, I apologize. We are running late and I'm going to tell you when the first break is. The first break is going to be at 12:20. So we're running late. We're going to try our best to pull back the time. I'm saying trying because we started practically an hour late. So I'm sure most of you have got things to do today. So I don't want to go all the way over to 5 o'clock. But is it okay if we run over a bit? Yeah? And we'll do our very, very best to pull back the time. So I'm going to speak to you about networking. I'm going to give you some tips today. There's two main things I'm going to speak to you about is things that you can do to get your business started off. And the other thing I'm going to talk to you about today is a business that I run. My name is Anthony Robert Paul Charles. I run two businesses. My first business is a coaching and a training business. It's called ARPC Titanium. That's my initials because I like myself. I like my initials. I thought I need to get an acronym for my business. So I call it ARPC. It simply stands for Action, Responsibility, Persistence, and Character. And in a nutshell, I'll tell you why I chose those words. As a coach, as a trainer, I found that people, when I was training people, most people don't take action. Most people don't take action. They'll take notes and they'll go away. They'll feel fired up, but they don't take the necessary action. The reason why they don't take the action is because of because of responsibility, personal responsibility. Saying that the buck stops here. If it is to be, it's up to me. I was on Facebook yesterday and I saw a young lady posted up, said, why does everybody get me angry? I couldn't help it. I normally don't respond to things and I just type back, maybe because you allow them to. And I sent it. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I go back home, what she's going to reply. But the thing is, it's personal responsibility. Would you believe that you are in your life where you are because you have chosen or decided to be there? Yeah? First time I heard that, I didn't like it. But then I realized the only way to actually do anything about it was to take on personal responsibility and do something about it. The P was for persistence. Most people take action. They are responsible, but they don't persist long enough. They don't do enough of the right thing long enough to get a result. Does that make sense? And the last one was character. And I'm not talking about the character to make a judgment on you. It's just your character, your values, your belief system. I work with lots of people who have they have a want, they have a goal. They say, I want to do this, but their values and their belief system tells them otherwise. I was talking on Thursday and I asked the audience how many people have set themselves a goal, actually started to go after the goal, and midway they meet up with an obstacle. The obstacle stops them, and then they say something like, I knew that was going to happen. Has anybody ever done that? I can see you nodding. I don't want to embarrass anybody. But that's the thing. Your value system, you say you want something, but deep down inside, your value system, your thought process is not in alignment. And that's what Brother Sorrow talked about. He said, whatever you think about, if you're busy thinking, oh, I don't think I'm going to make it, then do you think you're going to make it? My other company is called Team Titanium. We run a direct selling business. We run a direct selling business, and we teach people how to go into business for themselves. We have a fantastic product called a foundation course. You can see us at the back. I'm here with many of my team members today. You can see us at the back, and we'll explain to you how the foundation course works. It's a 12-week course, and we take you from start, not to finish, but we'll give you everything you need to know about running a business. I've got some fantastic people that have helped me to put it together. Some of them are speaking here today, so you're going to get a lot of information. But Through the 12 weeks, we'll take you through various home study, bits of home study, and then also there are workshops that you're going to partake as well. So there are networking workshops, communication skills workshops, goal setting workshops, and at the end of the 12 weeks, there is absolutely no reason why you should not be ready. Not only you should be in business, and you should be in profit. I think if you're in business, you should be in profit. Does that make sense? And that's what we want you to be able to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a few bits and pieces out of the foundation course and talk to you about it today so you can see the value of it. At the end of my talk, I'm going to tell you what it's going to cost you. And for 10 fortunate people today, you will be able to join us and you will make a substantial saving. We made it inexpensive for you, but then the main thing we want you to do is come on board and see the value and do something great with your future. Can you do that? Okay. Before I move on, any more networking tips? I'll give you one really quick one. If you're talking to people and you're stuck with what to say, use form. I'm not going to go through each step. We haven't got time today. There's anybody by a show of hands who knows what form is? Form. F-O-R-M, family, occupation, recreation, and the M, there's lots of meanings for the M, message, motivation, but all I want you to do today, if you're stuck, you know when you start speaking to people, you start thinking, what am I going to say to them? And you know they're talking, and some of you don't have that problem, because if you're like me, I have to restrain myself. I never used to listen to people. Can you imagine what the teachers used to say to me when I was small? What did they say I would be good at? Talking. Apart from one teacher, when my friends used to tease me because I was always short, and they used to tease me for being short, and she said, don't worry. She tried to make me feel better. She said, you can have a good job standing on a wedding cake when you're older. I was always an overcomer. I always had to find ways to overcome. When they used to tease me about being short, there's seven of us in our family. There's one sister younger than me, and I've got brothers and sisters older than me, so I had lots of hand-me-down clothes. Some of those dresses fit really well. I had a pair of trousers for my brother. If you see my brother, he's 6 foot something. He's stolen all my height, never given it back to me. But one day my mum took a pair of trousers and she turned the trousers up. And the trousers were just a bit too short. And I came to school and they were giving it to me. Look at your trousers, look at your trousers. And I had to really think fast. And I said, you're always complaining about me being short. You can see I'm growing. What's your problem? Have to be an overcomer. If you're talking to somebody today, use form. F-O-R-M. Family, occupation, recreation, and motivation or message. Basically, if you're speaking to them, speak about their family. Speak about their family. People like talking about their children. Anyone like talking about their children? Yeah? The rest of you, I feel sorry for your children. But then, I like talking about my children. Family, occupation, recreation. That's something that you can have a long conversation about. I'm not going to go through all of those things. That's a networking tip for you. One of the things that I have learned to work on is a 100-day plan. A 100-day plan is something that I learned only recently, and I heard somebody say, you know what? If you work on something for 100 days, a 1% improvement over 100 days gives you 100% improvement in just over 3 months. Does that make sense? So you can have a 100-day plan. And if you're like me, which has happened more than one occasion, I've been in the middle of my 100-day plan and I've come off the rails, you can just start again. So don't feel you have to be perfect. But I want you to make a 100-day plan. It's the 1st of May. I haven't done any pinch punch, first day of the month. 1st of May today, that means, is it the 8th of August? That would be 100 days time? I think it's the 8th of August. 8th of August, that will be 100 days. If you start your plan today and you start to make a 1% change in some area of your life over the next 100 days, 8th of August, you make 100% improvement. Is that useful? Today, when you're talking to people and you're starting off in business, one of the things I ask people to do is find something that you are really good at. Is anybody here today who has a business idea or who is looking for a business idea? Be brave. Okay, I can see a couple of hands there. One of the things that will help you is finding out what you're really, really good at. I looked and searched and thought, well, what am I really good at? What I'm really good at is, number 2, helping people to find solutions. I've told you when they were picking on me in school, I had loads of solutions to find my way out. I didn't like fighting, so I always had to find a way to talk my way out. But then what I'm really, really good at is helping people to overcome obstacles. Was anybody here on Thursday? Let me see your hands. And what was the motto that I said? Let me hear, what do I live by? Say it louder. Say it like if you were here on Thursday. Say it again. No matter what. Shall I explain to the people who weren't here what no matter what means? No, they should have been here on Thursday. You need to buy the DVD now. No matter what, I teach people how to overcome no matter what. And when you're building your business, all I'm going to say to you is there's going to be times when you're up, there's going to be times when you're down. And the trick is to be able to perform not just when you're up, but being able to perform the best times when you're down, when things are going wrong. Because if everybody is down and you're doing something, do you think you'll get ahead? Wow. They've all fallen asleep. No. Of course, you're gonna be able to get ahead if you are able to perform when things are either up or down. Collaborate. I've talked to you today about networking. There's people in this room here today. Find people who you can work with. Find people who you can collaborate with. Yeah? When you meet people today, don't just be looking for what you can get out of it. See what service you can bring to them as well. I'm serious. There are a lot of you today, you'll stand up and you'll sit there thinking, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But deep down, you're still going to try and sell what you have. I believe you're going to do much better if you find ways to collaborate with people. And if you're somebody who finds that you're not good at collaborating with people, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why, because I bet you when the speakers come up here today and they will speak about collaboration, they'll speak about teamwork, they'll speak about all the things that really work. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is being focused. Being focused. If you're going to start a goal today, be focused on it. And my definition of focus is F, follow. Let me hear you say follow. One. Course. Until successful. Does that make sense? Follow one course until successful. It doesn't mean that you don't diversify, but I find people that are trying to do so much. They're trying to do so many things. Everything they see, they'll go to the back of the room today and they'll see lots of business opportunities. And they'll go to the back of the room and they'll stand there and they'll say, you know what, I'm going to get slim today. I'm going to learn how to cook with titanium cookware. I'm going to go onto this course. And at the same time, I'm going to get me a handbag. Can I go into business with them? They're going to try to do everything. They're going to look at Mary Kay, is going to say, you know, while I'm talking to them about getting slim, they could wear some makeup. You're going to try and do everything. Follow one course until successful. And you don't have to get all the way to the end, but at least get something under your belt. At least get good at something. Because sometimes the reason why we don't stick something out is because we're not really good at it. Does that make sense? But in order to be good at something, would you agree, first you have to be willing to be bad at it? I wasn't always a good speaker. There were times I came up on the stage and I came up, and when I looked back in my seat, my courage was still sitting down there. And I was thinking, you're supposed to be up here with me. And I made a mess of what I was doing. But then I was willing to be bad at it first until I was good. I